Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I'm sorry we are a few minutes late here. It is a beautiful and glorious day, and it's cold. The cold snap finally got here. So yeah, fun stuff. It's good to be back. It's been a lot's been going on apparently while I've been out. I actually unplugged. I turned devices off, turn notification off, whatever you would call it. Those of you part of the Patreon, you realize that I haven't really posted a whole lot in our private Telegram channel. I legit just put it all down, spend time with the family, and just unplugged. I don't get to take a mental break like that too often, and we had an opportunity to, and I took it. So I really appreciate you guys and gals being here today. It is a great day, and I really do appreciate those of you who are part of my Patreon. It does help support the channel. It does indeed give me an area or space to have a conversation with you all, take the gloves off, and really talk about some of that stuff. So, anyhow, y'all are great being here today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want to throw in the chat, do me a favor and throw it out there. I would greatly appreciate it. It does give me an opportunity to answer those towards the end of the show. And then one more other little thing. I don't remember what I was going to say, but so let's just jump right in. We're going to be talking about some stuff around FTX. All of y'all know he got arrested by now, I think. I hope. Some interesting data around Binance. I've told y'all some of the stuff was coming down the pipe. Binance is an interesting conversation. We'll see what happens here in just a minute. Some stuff going on with the Senate, the U.S. Senate, and then some interesting things around BlackRock that is coming down the pipe. I think people will probably want to pay attention to. And then all of this will tie in together with some crazy stuff happening with our economy. It's gonna be a great show. So stick around to the end. We may have to abruptly end here shortly. Have to cut it a little short because I do have a meeting right at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yep. So anyhow, let's jump in, shall we? So FTX says company engaged in old-fashioned embezzlement under SBF. So there is a bankruptcy CEO. He's a CEO specifically appointed to companies who is really good at handling bankruptcies. Because the CEO does need to be at the helm while it goes through a bankruptcy, and this guy was appointed to do that. FTX bankruptcy era CEO John J. Ray III, appointed to shepherd the collapsed crypto exchange under Chapter 11 reorganization, testified on Tuesday that the company's founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried made multiple misstatements about his company's financials. Ray, who oversaw Enron's, he's overseeing FTX too. That's a big deal. Y'all need to go back and look at what happened in Enron. Some of you lived through it. Some of you remember that. Yeah. Anyhow, Enron's infamous corporate fraud characterized FTX actions as old-fashioned embezzlement. Quoting the gentleman, saying, "This is just taking money from customers, using it for your own purpose." There's a reason why he was the youngest billionaire. Ray said, "Not sophisticated at all," he said, explaining that what might have been sophisticated about the scheme was hiding it in plain sight, which is very interesting as well. Anyhow, Ray's testimony may also have shed light on the theories that underline the Justice Department's accusations against Bankman-Fried, who was charged with 8 counts of wire fraud, securities fraud, and conspiracy to indict in an indictment, unsealed on Tuesday. Sorry. The agency's criminal charges, while alleged that Bankman-Fried misappropriated customer funds by allowing the funds to be used by his crypto hedge fund, Alameda Research, required it to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Bankman-Fried knew and intended to lie about the arrangement to customers and or lenders. Yeah, FTX, the company that was also used. Go watch the Patreon show if you haven't yet. Go watch it, where I talked about what they actually did with the money that went into Ukraine. And some of the ties that were there. See, the thing is that people need to realize the blockchain doesn't lie, and the blockchain is forever, and the blockchain is indeed transparent for all. Go look at the wallets. You can easily go find out where the money went. You see, there's this website. I can't remember. I couldn't remember it. I'll probably find it and post it like in the Telegram channel for the Patreon folks there. Um, there's a website where you can pull up the Bitcoin addresses based off of their age and the amount that they have in there. Binance is listed, FTX is listed, Coinbase is listed. But there are a lot of private ones, just for y'all's record there. Something to think about. You can go grab those and then follow the trails. It's not hard because it's transparent. Anyhow, that's an interesting thing. He literally just used it for himself. Thank you, I'll take the money. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then goes and does whatever the crap he wanted. That's just awful. Stealing people's money, thinking that they were doing stuff, and then creating fake coins on the exchange. You gotta love it. See, when I do my due diligence on projects, on things like exchanges, see, Lord has really, really protected me and my family from every bit so far of all of every bit so far of all of the different downfalls, other than the price going down. Never touched FTX, never touched Celsius, never touched Three Arrows Capital. Not that I would need to or want to. Never touched any of these other firms. Gemini, Crypto.com. Not that they're having problems right now. BlockFi, never touched them. Just never opened a. Never felt right. So when I do my due diligence, there is one extra step that I do that most people will not do, and that is take it to the Lord. And a lot of times with stuff like that, I want to go play with it, whatever, touch it. Sometimes I'll go play with it, touch it, figure it out, see what it does, and go, nope, not gonna touch it, nope, just because. And it all has to do with that check, that one last check, and he has been faithful for sure on that, and that is where I for sure land on those types of things. Now, something I've been talking to you guys about for a while is that there will be a liquidity squeeze right before Bitcoin really runs. And the reason I say that, it will really, really cause it, because we're coming into the year before the halving, which is approximately sometime in 2024 for Bitcoin. Historically, that is when we get that, right around now is right when we get that last accumulation phase where people, and okay, do y'all still got me? Because my entire thing just glitched out. 5x5 in the chat, please. You guys still have me? I see something there. Anyone else? 5x5. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything literally just froze on my screen. Okay. Thanks, Bitcoin Bull. Appreciate you, brother. All right. So I was trying to say that we have there's a liquidity squeeze coming when we have this final accumulation phase where people we're at that bottom little right before we jump up. The reason I say that is because what's starting to happen now is exchanges like Binance are now having I don't know if they're USD withdrawals. I haven't finished reading this particular article yet, but if it's Bitcoin withdrawals in the $3 billion range, that's a big deal. People are taking self-custody. I hope. Investors withdrew as much as $3 billion from Binance on Tuesday, according to blockchain analysis firm Nansen. I can never say that word. Nansen. As a deluge of negative headlines about the cryptocurrency industry rattled users around of the world's largest exchange. Andrew Thurman, content lead for Nansen, told CNN that at its peak, Binance saw as high as $3 billion in net outflows over a 24-hour period. A report about an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Justice Department into the exchange was a factor in investigators' nervousness, he said. Concurrently, a large market maker, Jump, was found to have withdrawn huge sums from Binance with no deposits over the past few weeks. Excuse me. I'm having joking on myself. Anyhow, ultimately seems to have caused jitters among retail and institutional users, Truman said. In short, it's a lot of money headed out, and that spooked some folks. I told y'all. I would like to see if this was in Bitcoin. I don't see anywhere in here that it was actually Bitcoin or not. But if it is in fact crypto leaving the exchange, then you are going to seriously see Bitcoin's price increase because it's on-chain transactions happening. Even if it's not, that exchange has the liquidity pool's drying up. Okay, I'm telling y'all, we're going to have a major liquidity squeeze when this happens. It's going to be very, very, very interesting because people like us who just held onto it and accumulated over the years, you're going to be the ones benefiting. Okay. All this is happening at the same time. The Senate banking hearing set to take aim at FTX and cryptocurrency industry. This is a problem. The largest Ponzi scheme in history. So FTX is, or the cryptocurrency industry is? Yeah, the Senate banking hearing is set to take place just one day after the FTX CEO John Ray testified in front of the House Financial Services Committee. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, was charged by federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York for a wide variety of crimes, including wire fraud, securities fraud, and violating campaign finance regulations. Oh, he did, didn't he? He was the second largest donor to Flashbang. He was the second largest donor to the entire DNC. Okay. And you wonder where that money went. It was your money if you were in there, and it went to the DNC and all of their little buddies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Senate Banking Committee on Wednesday is holding a second day. It's holding a second day of hearings this week on the downfall of cryptocurrency exchange FTX, examining how the company's implosion could impact the nascent industry. On Tuesday, FTX's new CEO, John Ray, testified in front of the House Finance Committee where he accused former executives, including founder and former CEO, SBF, of embezzling customer funds. Yep. Guys, they're going to go after these exchanges and they're going to regulate them. If you're going to become a crypto exchange, you're probably going to have to go through some sort of major regulation. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is also where you have the government involved in what's happening. This is why decentralized exchanges matter so much. Government can't touch the decentralized exchange, and no one entity can control the decentralized exchange. Thus, it makes sense from a standpoint of there's not a single CEO taking your money. It's literally a platform, peer-to-peer, 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 peer-to-peer. You want to sell, you want to buy, match, done. That's all it is. And most of them that are happening on a blockchain, which gives you the transactional data on top of the actual transaction that's being made between two individuals or two entities. This is really, really, really important going forward. This is why I talk about the Divi project so much. They have a decentralized exchange built into their app. This is why I tell y'all self-custody. They have a fiat on and off ramp. I'm not sure if it's been switched over to the net new one yet, but it will give you immediate self-custody upon purchasing. There's not an app out there that does that. There's not a platform out there that I know of that does that. Not a self-custody, not immediate. Coinbase, you go, you buy, you gotta wait a week, just about, before you can actually have your funds to move them off the exchange. Always nervous for people whenever they go buy stuff, especially anyone who goes and buys like $100,000 of Bitcoin or something like that. And they go and it sits there for a week. So what happens if it implodes during that 1 week? Because we don't know, right? But with something like the Divi project, you go buy, I don't know what the limits are, but I'm sure you could knock on someone's door and say, hey, can you raise these limits? Yeah. Crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff. On top of all of this stuff that's been happening right here, it's almost like this is two threads that are gonna kind of meet here, right? We have the all the crypto stuff going crazy and breaking down from a standpoint of all the centralization pieces, and then you have all of the hang on just a second, all of the home stuff, the housing prices. It's going to be crazy as U.S. home prices decline. Number of buyers underwater. Mortgages swell. You gotta really, really wonder what's going on. High mortgage rates sapping demand of U.S. housing market. Yes, we've covered that part, but what's really, really frustrating now, and this is something that people need to really pay attention to, is that an alarming number of new homeowners are discovering they owe more on their mortgage than their home is worth, as surging interest rates send home prices spiraling down. Yep, about 250,000 Americans who took out a mortgage this year to buy a home are now underwater, meaning the home is worth less than the loan they took out on it. And that's one of the big reasons why I've been just like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Unless you absolutely have to, don't do it. According to new data from Black Knight, another 1 million have less than 10% equity. So they're getting, that is shrinking. Okay. Majorly. So you have you have 1.25 million Americans. Not a lot in the grand scheme of things of the country as a whole, but that's enough to cause a problem in the economy. It's a chink in the armor, so to speak. It's because of all the higher mortgage rates. And then it's because of the price of the homes rising so high. Though the home price correction is slowed, it has still exposed a meaningful pocket of equity risk, said Ben Grabowski, the Black Knight data analyst president. Make no mistake, negative equity rates continue to run far below historical averages, but a clear bifurcation, never read that word before, of risk has emerged between mortgage homes purchased relatively recently versus those bought earlier before. Yeah, we all get that. It's simple supply and demand, simple economics that went. Y'all understand what's happening now? People are underwater. What happens when people are underwater? And they can't actually afford that. We go into recession when we're actually probably going to go into a full-blown depression. It'll probably be short-lived, but it will also happen. We're already in a recession. Everything is receding. Everything is contracting, except the money supply. They can't really do that. The CPI numbers that came out yesterday, 7.1, down 7.1. I wonder if that was a let's get through the end of the year, get people to spend more for Christmas. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but stores around are doing big time sales now all of a sudden. That wasn't happening on Black Friday. But now, a week before, it is all around the same time. Amazon, everyone is doing last minute sales, but they're big sales. They're like a lot. Like several $100s off of a higher ticket item kind of thing. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting, this thing. Another little data point that I wanted to bring up here is BlackRock overhauls leadership for sustainability and markets role. Wait, what? BlackRock is overhauling leadership? Yep. BlackRock is changing its leadership ranks. Yep. Elevating the former head of stewardship to a broader global role in creating a new division. The world's largest asset manager, which regularly shuffles key personnel speak PAPAJO, announced that the changes in a memo to staff on Wednesday. The firm anointed Sandy Bose chief operating officer of its global client business division, formed earlier this year and run by Mark Wiedemann. According to the memo, which was viewed by Bloomberg. Yeah, shuffling of the cards, so to speak, at BlackRock. I smell something fishy about BlackRock, guys and gals. They hold a lot of money, kind of like SBF did. I don't know what the end results are going to be, but something's not right there. Something's not right there. The whole you'll own nothing and be happy, in some ways, has a lot to do with this organization. Just something I'm picking up on. Of course, on the show, there's only educational or entertainment. Y'all do your own research. This is merely satire. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that stuff, right? Oh, my goodness. Guess what else? The Biden flashbang, admin policy move will pulverize Americans' pocketbooks for good. National security experts warn. The expiration of Title 42 will be the absolute Category 5 hurricane. The storm? Is it the storm? For the U.S., according to overrun author Todd Benson. Excuse me. A massive migrant caravan continues to cross the U.S.-Mexican border. A national security expert signaled the border crisis will only get worse for Americans and their pocketbooks once the flashbang administration drops Title 42. The numbers are coming across are already being felt across the nation in your schools, healthcare systems, crime, every sector of American economy and social fabric. Overrun author Todd Bensman said on the Mornings with Maria on Monday. Whether the president wants to admit it or not, Americans are going to feel this in the pocketbook for a long, long time, probably permanently. So you have all of the economic stuff. You have all this stuff happening in crypto. Then you have this even more strain on our economy here in the U.S. Seems like a perfect storm. Wouldn't you say? Bitcoin's up today. The Dow is up today. Nasdaq is up today. S&P 500 is up today. Go figure. Gold is down while it was up yesterday. Silver is also slightly down, but heading back up, even though it was up yesterday. Look at Divi. Divi's doing some fun stuff. Ethereum, EOS. I don't really follow EOS very much anymore. Matic. Looks like it's trying to consolidate a little bit in past hours there. You got Axie as well. I didn't mean to click on Shiba, but there's Shiba and XRP. Hey, look, mortgage rates are somehow down. Barely. A little bit. Wonder what that all entails. Anyways, I wanted to just run through that real fast and let's talk to everyone here and say, hey, I got a few minutes and I'll say, hey, everyone, what's going on, Lithia? How you doing today? I appreciate you being here. It's a beautiful day for sure. Bitcoin bull, good morning, good morning. SBF is still above room temperature today. I don't know. That's a good question. It is a very good question, Bitcoin bull. Glad to see you, brother. Bitcoin bull, I need prayers for responding better to people that hold Bitcoin and crypto accountable for the FTX debacle. I think we all do, brother. I think we all do. What's going on, Steven? How you doing, brother? Thanks for being here for today. It is a beautiful day. Bitcoin bull, happy for you having a chance for a mental break, Papa Joe. Imagine how hard it is for Flashbang. He can't take a mental break because he doesn't have a mental break. He doesn't have a mind. That's a good point. Poor guy. What's going on, Gloria? How are you doing today? Thanks for being part of the show, being here today. Really appreciate y'all tuning in like this. John Gibson, thanks for checking in. 5x5 Bitcoin Bull. I do appreciate y'all. The thing just froze. It was weird. What's going on, Larry? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here today. Hey, Carrie. Good morning, peeps. My peeps. Shoot. Sorry, late. I'd rather you're here. Better late than never. And PO truck hit my car yesterday. Oh no, I'm so sorry. And on the phone all day dealing with it. I'm really sorry. Hopefully you can get that figured out really soon. Really, really sorry that happened. I really am. Yes, but on the bright side, I was in my home getting better from my cookies, butter from my cookies, and saved $8, I guess, in inflation. Baking. Yep. Thanks for being here. What's going on, Rick? Yeah, I like the background too. It's Christmas time. Why not? Make it Christmas. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. What's going on, Trini Man? How you doing, man? Listen, you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day. I should have a show Friday. And if I can, I will have a recorded show for the Patreon. But if I can't, like I said, if I can, it'll be an interview. So we'll see what happens. I'm working on some things just for the Patreon. Your early access. You get an early access if you're on the Patreon. Anyhow, y'all be blessed. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.